Hi, friends. Today I'll tell you how I managed to lose weight and why it changed my life. If you have similar thoughts or experiences, stay with me until the end. I didn't used to think about my weight at all, but gradually I began to notice that my jeans were getting tight. Just climbing the stairs would leave me out of breath. My colleagues' jokes about my solid build seemed harmless. Then I looked at a group photo taken after a work party, and I realized I look different than I would like. I tried to look in the mirror less often so as not to spoil my mood. I often refused to go for city walks with my friends. I preferred to stay home with pizza rather than go to football or hang out. Inside, I became more and more withdrawn. At work, I tried not to take part in activities. Clothes hid the extra weight, but I couldn't hide my lack of confidence. I changed the subject when people talked about sports. One day an old friend invited me to a table tennis tournament. I couldn't even finish the first round. I ran out of energy right away. That evening I thought for a long time, is this really my limit? I remembered how we used to hang out till late, playing basketball in the yard. Somewhere inside, this desire to live more actively was still there. Soon I decided I had to try changing something, even if it as a small step. First rule, no more late night snacks. Instead of sweets in the evening, a glass of water. It was hard. My appetite always peaked in the evening. I made a rule for myself. If I wanted to eat, I'd better text a friend. A colleague at work supported the idea. We agreed to have a friendly bet who can go the longest. A kind of sporting excitement appeared. I added daily short walks 10-15 minutes after work. At first, it was really hard. I wanted to quit. I deliberately set an alarm to go for a walk, even when I was tired. The first couple of weeks there were almost no results. But then suddenly I noticed the heaviness was gone, breathing became easier. I started falling asleep faster. Stopped tossing and turning at night. A month later I decided to count calories. Turned out I was eating more than I thought. I reduced my dinner portions, started waking up more refreshed. I had more energy. I wanted to change even more. I started meeting up with friends from work after shifts more often. They were surprised. I used to always refuse. At the office, people started asking, "You smile more often, are you okay?" For the first time, I realized people really notice changes. I started joining in on group lunch breaks. A colleague invited me to play mini football in the evening. I decided to try, even though at first I was afraid to say yes. And I got a boost of positivity, even though I soon got tired again. But that was motivating. Now I play sports every week. I developed the useful habit of always bringing water with me. I learned to choose simple food, vegetables, meat, minimum fast food. The first visible result was when my old jeans finally zipped up easily. That was really inspiring. Soon a colleague invited me to register for a city marathon. I agreed to sign up with him. The support of friends became a powerful reason not to give up. I started watching instructional videos on how to train correctly. More and more often, I could manage even difficult exercises. I started feeling like one of the guys in the company of men. Lunchtime conversations stopped being awkward. Sometimes friends would ask me for advice on nutrition. I liked that I could now support the guys this way too. I joined in team building games and activities at work. It was cool to feel truly equal for the first time. I started laughing more, joking around more. Colleagues said, "You've become noticeably more confident." That was inspiring. Sometimes I wouldn't even recognize my old self. I wanted to set new goals. I enrolled in evening classes and improved my English. I spoke up at a company event with an idea for a group project. Turns out I could give a presentation in front of people. I noticed making new acquaintances became easier. I felt like I was part of a big group of friends again. My father noticed, "You've become grown up and determined." The most important thing is not just my body changed, but my character too. I became more tolerant of others, learned to listen and support. Confidence in one area gives you faith in other areas too. Now I don't wait for Monday to start something new. If you recognize these feelings, know that it is all possible. Ask friends and colleagues for support. It helps a lot. Take small steps. Celebrate every success. Don't be afraid of temporary difficulties. They'll pass if you don't give up. The main thing is to believe and go at your own pace. I am grateful to all my friends and colleagues who were there these months. You are capable of much more than you imagine. Start your journey today.